we're just starting now. So your feet are a distance away from your sit bones. Your knees are a little bit apart. And I want you to initially just bring the crest of your pelvis forward and straighten your back. Okay? And then I want you to draw your stomach in and up and find that lift. I would say place your hands on your shins with your elbows out wide. Now, just draw the crest of the pelvis back away from the thighs a little. Pull your stomach in and up. Bring your rib forward a little, the log bottom rib, and bring your head forward so that your chin is over your chest a little. Okay? Press onto the fronts of your shins. Open up your upper back and pull your stomach in and up. As you do that movement, find your seat, so lift up on your sit bones and create a connection in your body in that C curve. And then just relax, okay? Release it. So when you press your legs down and find the backs of your thighs, squeeze your heels together, pull your stomach in and up, bring your head forward, okay? That's what we're calling the C curve, okay? So it looks good from here for most of you. Try and keep your shoulders over your hips. Your head is forward, but it's not dropped, it's lengthened. So the back of the neck, you almost want to pull your throat back towards your neck to create that lift. Okay, so it's not a collapse of the chin to the chest, it's a lift out. Now this shape will get you through the 100, the rolling like a ball, spine stretch forward, single and double leg stretch, and the seal. Okay, if you can hold this shape, most of the movements of the foundation will be available to you. Okay. Now, what I want to do now is just start to work on that neck position. So if you have a circle, you're going to use it. If you don't have a circle, you're going to put your hands under your chin and you're going to push up with your hand and push down with your chin. If you've got a circle, so find your C curve, pull the stomach in, okay, and you're going to push the bottom of the circle up and resist it with the chin, okay? So find your shape, open your shoulder blades, push the bottom of the circle in towards your chin, okay? If you've got hands, well, you have got hands. If you're just using your hands, you're pushing up with the back of your hand as you're keeping your chin in position. Okay, and not only find your front of your neck, but find your abdominals when you do this. Okay, just press and release, press and release. And as you're doing the movement, deepen that C curve in your body. Okay, keep deepening the C curve so the neck isn't just dropped forward, the head, isn't just dropped forward. There's a lengthening and a lifting going on. Yeah. Okay, now, if you have the circle, you're going to find the C curve again. So squeeze your heels together, find your thighs, pull your stomach in. And then I just want you to gently squeeze the circle, to connect and feel the upper back widen. If you don't have a circle, okay, we're going to do your hug the tree position. So you're going to bend the elbows, and you're going to bring your fingertips to meet and then take them back out again. So you're coming in and out. You've got an imaginary circle that you're pushing. Those of you with a circle, you're just going to get a little bit of connection with the circle, pulling the stomach in and up. So as you squeeze the circle, draw the stomach in and up. As you squeeze the circle, find the glutes and pull the stomach in and find the inner thighs. Okay? Simple movement, but we're going to connect the whole body in these movements. Scoop the stomach. Good, and again. Squeeze. And one more. Scoop in and up. And then relax. Okay? So a lot of the foundational movements are about finding this connection between the ribs and the pelvis, the stomach and the thighs and the glutes. If you can't hold this position with your abdominals, you're not going to be able to hold these extended positions. You're just going to collapse. And I can distinguish a C curve here from a collapse. Can you see how there's no control of that? That's just a flexible upper back and I'm collapsing. But some people drop into that if they're flexible. because that's what they think they've got to find. But actually, what they've got to find is less curve and more lift, more stomach, more shoulder girdle, more bottom and more thighs. Yeah? Not more flexibility. Yeah? It's not this, it's this. Lift and pull out of your body. Okay, we're going to roll back down into your mat. And just, let's start with a little bit of shoulder girdle connection. So these are just prep exercises, they're not the Pilates movements, we're going to come to them in a second. So I want you to take your arms up and over your head. We've been doing these quite a bit anyway. Keep the bottom rib down and press the back of your arms in towards the mat. If you can't get your arms down, then use a block or something, a cushion, so that you can press your arms into something, okay? And then back out. What I would say is, getting the shoulder girdle with this amount of movement is really important for some of the exercises further down the line. So those of you who know your exercises, if you think of roll over, jackknife, corkscrew, if you don't have the control to get your arms here, you're going to lift your shoulders when you lift your bottom off, okay? So part of it isn't to do with weakness of the abdominals, it's often lack of connection to the shoulder girdle that's holding you back on those exercises, okay? So you can have the strongest abdominals in the world, but if your shoulder girdle isn't connected, you're going to peel those shoulders off every time you lift or every time you lower your hips back down to the floor, okay? So back and press. And I would say that's an important exercise that you need to be able to do to advance the Pilates movements. Yeah? Now take the arms out wide into a T position, so the backs of the hands are pressing down. Now just press your hands down into the mat. Don't let your rib cage lift, but feel the connection into the middle of your back. So from your shoulder blades to the spine, and then release. Bring the arms back up again. Take them out wide and press the back of the hand down. You're going to feel a stretch in your chest, but you're going to draw the muscles in the upper back together a little bit. And back up. And out. Good. Press it down. And up. Let's get one more. Open the arms and press the backs of the hands into the floor. Okay, now straighten out your left leg. Okay. And then bring your right leg across, so over, maybe at the knee, but if it's uncomfortable, slide it down to the outside of the shin, that's okay. We're going to try and switch on the muscles, the deeper abdominal muscles, the transversus muscles. So what I want you to do is, if you've got your right knee bent, I want you to lift the right bottom cheek away from the mat and rotate the pelvis over to the left, okay? So you can use your hands to press into the floor. I tend to put one hand in this corner where I want the abdominals to switch on, which is the right side, so the knee side. And you're going to peel the pelvis up by just engaging this muscle here, yeah? And back again. What I want you to be aware of in your body is when you lift the pelvis, are you able to keep the left leg from turning out, okay? So I just want you to just have an awareness of that foot. Is it turning out when you lift up the right side? Okay? It might want to. So draw this right side of your abdominals in to lift the right side of your pelvis away. And then lower it back down again. Try not to work the inside of your right thigh. Make it here to lift you up. Okay? And it's not a huge movement. You're not going to bring the pelvis up, rotate it 90 degrees or anything. You're going to lift it maybe 15 if you're lucky. Okay? But really direct the movement from here. Yeah? So not how high can you lift, but how much can you connect into the transversus muscle. Okay? And then relax. Change legs. Okay? So now peeling the left side of your pelvis, so the left bottom cheek comes off. Now your knee does roll that way, yeah, but try not to use the inner thigh to assist. Just use the left side of your abdominals, yeah, to peel and lift. make sure that that right leg is not just turning out when you lift. Yeah, so if the the right leg is turning out, you're not using the transverse muscle correctly. You're using a bit of hip rotation to get you over. Yeah, and that's quite normal for a lot of people to do that. And again, one more. Peel and lift up. Okay, now, the next area that we focus on is the inner thigh and the back of the hamstring. Okay, so if you, when you roll up, when you do your single leg circles, the one leg has to really press down and in. So we're going to try and strengthen that muscle. So if you bend your left leg, okay, and take your right leg, so slightly turned out, and bring it across the midline. So what I want you to do is have your foot of the left leg underneath the back of the right knee. Yeah, just so you don't hyperextend that knee. So it's just stopping you just extending the back of the knee into the floor, because that's just stretching a ligament in the back of your knee. So the knee is slightly soft because it's pressing into your front of your foot. Does that make sense? Now, but the leg is drawn across, so it wants to be across the midline towards the left side of your body. Okay? Now you're going to just press that leg down and into that foot. So it's like a diagonal press in and down, not just straight down. And I want you not to overwork your quads. So make the movement come from the back of your thigh. Yeah? Not here, but underneath here. And then release. So you push down and in. So down into the mat and across into that other leg or the foot. And release. And I really want you to find the back and the inside of your thigh. Okay? And it's obviously the right leg's doing the work. The left leg's just a block. It's not doing anything really. This is really essential for getting that muscle to switch on when you're doing rolling movements, like rolling back, okay, or rolling up. So try and find the back of that leg. So sometimes less force is going to get more work. Because if you go too heavy, you'll just use your quads maybe. Okay? Deepen the stomach muscle. So as you press down, draw your stomach in and up. That sometimes works for people. So you're getting a connection between the inner thigh and the front of your abdominals. And then switch it over. This is a hard one really to cue on a camera. Sometimes it's better to just feel. So right knee is bent, left leg is drawn across and into that leg, and your right foot is underneath the back of your left knee, so that you're not just pressing that knee down. Now press the leg down and in. Don't overwork the quad. You've got to really switch that off. Use the back of the body. Use your thigh, use your bottom, and draw your stomach in. And release. And again, press it down. So you're pressing down and into that leg. And you should feel the back of your leg start to work. Okay? Almost cramp even if you don't use it a lot. So down and across. So the foot is, I think you've got it across there, Jen. It wants to be, yeah, it stays inside and you press the leg into it. Yeah? Yeah. Good. Okay. We'll come back to that. So it's a good one to prep. Now, bend your knees, bring them back to the centre, and press your heels together and try and engage the back of those legs again, just like you had in the last. Bring your arms over your head and let your shoulders open. And we're going to come up into your 100. So we're going to prep first. So bring the arms up to the ceiling. Peel up your head and shoulders. Remember the connection you got with the circle or with the back of the hand. So as if you were pushing down with your chin onto a weight. Use the front of the neck and the front of your abdominals to hold you up there. Good. And then roll it back down with control. So the big issue for most people is not getting enough lift here, not coming over the bottom rib and getting the crown of the head up to the ceiling. And that can be strength. It's just strength in the abdominals and movement in the rib cage. Okay. and then roll it back down again. Peel it up, chin up over chest, chest over your bottom rib a little bit. Good. But the bottom of your shoulder blades still touching. Now, next time you come up, we're going to hold that position. You might just want to hold the back of your hamstrings and give yourself just a little pull up there. As you pull up, try and draw deeper into your abdominals. Okay? Now, bring your feet off the floor and straighten your legs up towards the ceiling. Turn your thighs out and try and pull the thigh bones together and find that inner thigh and back of your thigh. Okay? Reach your arms long and start in this prep position, getting the rhythm to your breath. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze those legs, 2, 4, 5, and exhale. Pull that stomach in. Good. Inhale, think of the legs. Exhale, focus on the abdominals. Inhale, this time focus on the arms, reaching away from you. Exhale, keep the crown of the head to the ceiling. Try not to let your shoulders lift up. Open up your collarbones. Broaden your upper back. Good. So shoulders away from ears. That's the issue for a lot of you there. Keep the shoulders away. Good. In for 5. Out for 5. In for 5. Squeeze those legs. 2 more. Exhale. Chin over chest, last set. Exhale. Bend your knees. Lower your head back down. Place your feet on the floor. Good. Okay. So, lengthen one leg out. Bring one knee in. Doesn't really matter. Hold the back of that leg. We're going to roll up into a sitting position, but I want you to try and effect the roll up. So the leg is going to be a lever, it's going to help you, but still continue the movement as if you were rolling up. So chin comes up over chest, chest comes up, and press your leg away, pull your stomach in, and roll yourself up, keeping one leg down. Good. Now, we've already been in this position, so we know we're going to come into your rolling back position. Now, some of you can roll up, and we will roll up, but some of you just might want to practice rolling back first. So, have your feet towards the front of the mat. Now, instead of having your feet flat, we're going to squeeze your heels together, and I want you to find your inner thighs. We've already switched them on. So, inner thighs and backs of your hamstrings. Okay. We're going to maybe have your straight back to begin with. And then let's find our curve. So let the pelvis just draw away, the crest of the pelvis draw away, the lower abdominals pull in, the rib pulls forward a little bit, the chin comes over your chest. Okay? You're going to hold the back of your legs, make sure the hamstrings are active, press down your heels, pull back, and gently roll back onto your sacrum. So the first part of the roll is sacrum, press the heels down, keep the hamstrings active, and bring yourself back up again. Now you can extend back out of that if you want to, or you can maintain the curve. Sometimes once you've got the curve, you don't want to lose it. So pull the stomach back, roll to your sacrum. Keep drawing the stomach and pressing your heels down. And then roll it back up again. Keep the shoulders wide. So try not to let, as you roll back, try not to let this happen. Sometimes the shoulders want to come out of position. So keep broad with the shoulder blades, elbows out wide as if you were elbowing your way to the front of a cube. Unlikely at the moment, obviously, because you can't get near people, but rolling back, pull the stomach in, keep the elbows out, don't let the shoulders roll forward, okay? Good, pull back. Now you can keep going a little lower. If you feel you have the control, you can go down to the bottom of your rib cage, okay? But you need to be able to press your legs in to roll yourself up without this happening, okay? Without rolling your shoulders forward. Stay with that movement. If you're unsure or unable to roll up, stay with that. If you can roll up, take yourself down onto your mat and straighten your legs. And what I want you to do if you're rolling up is really find those inner thighs. So I want you to press together and down with the legs. Yeah? So not just the heels, just the thighs, the thigh bones together and down. And that should engage your glutes. And then bring your arms over your head. Okay. You can maybe flex your feet to start rather than point the toes, because I just want you to have that connection. Now, bring the arms up towards the ceiling. Bring your chin up over your chest. As you exhale, roll over. Keep pressing the backs of your legs down and together and bring yourself up. Stretch over, pull back. Now, I'm not saying you all have to be doing this. If you want to practice rolling back, that's more important. You need to be able to hold those legs down and together as you travel back, okay? Some days it's easier than others as well. So when you get down, press those legs together and down. I want you to have such strength between your thighs, okay? Now, as you come up, chin up over chest, chest up over your rib. Okay? Just rounding forward. So be aware of your shoulder girdle, okay? So don't let your shoulders lift up on that strain, the bit where you come over. So we'll just do one more. Press those heels down together, squeeze those thighs in and together. Then you bring your arms up, you bring your chin up. Okay, now at that point there, try not to let this happen. So reach your arms, connect your shoulder girdle to bring yourself over that hard point and then stretch forward. Okay, good. Now, let's just prep that with a straight leg roll back. Okay, so the proof of the pudding will be in the rolling here. Okay, if you've got that control, you will be able to roll back to the mat and not fall back. Now, let's try it without any support, just so you get an idea. So without the band or without the circle. Straighten your leg, pull in your stomach. Now draw back. As you draw back, press away and down with the leg, the left leg. Pull in and up with the abdominals. And slowly travel back down. Okay. Press, control it, don't let it rock back. Good. When you get down to the mat, increase the stretch of your hamstring maybe. Let your head come down. Bend your knee. Roll yourself up, chin up over chest, chest over your ribs. Stretch the leg away, keeping the other leg down. Okay. When you come up, switch legs. Okay. So, grounding your right leg, stretching out your left leg. Pull in and up through the stomach, and then just draw your lower abdominals away. Good, keep going back as you reach the right leg away. So it's away and down. Pull in, pull, pull, press as you pull. Control that back. Bring yourself down to your mat. Okay, good, okay. Now, when we're down, let's grab a circle or a band, and we're just going to stretch out the hamstring a little bit, okay? So, of the foundational exercises, single leg circle doesn't require you to be in a curve, in a C curve, okay? But what it does require you to do is press down the supporting leg, so use the back line of your body. Now, hamstring, adductor, which you've already switched on. And we need to get some length in the back of the hamstring. So some of you can be tight there, okay? And we've got to try and lengthen and get more range of movement in that muscle, okay? So just by straightening the leg up to the ceiling and bending the knee back into the chest. Yep. Straighten the leg, pull the stomach in, and stretch the back of that hamstring. Bend the knee and come back in. Now, if you've got that range to 90, I would say 90 is the minimum you need. Okay, you need to have 90 degree here in order to do single leg circle. Okay. Now, if you don't have it, you should really do single leg circle with a bent knee. And if you don't have it, you just got to work it until you get it. Okay? There's no reason why, unless you have torn the hamstring severely at some point doing
some sprinting or something, there's no reason why you can't get that leg to move, unless you've got some issue, you know, that you've had a leg injury or something, then it's normal range to get to 90. It's not abnormal, that. It's just an indicator of tightness. So it holds you back on a lot of exercise if you don't have the straight leg. So if you've got the straight leg at 90, great. If you don't have it at 90, lower it down till you find it. Now we're going to turn the thigh inwards at the hip. Yeah. Because this stretches for the adductor. So we're going to draw the leg out to the side, pulling the stomach in and keeping the left side of your pelvis down. Okay. So again, not how far can you go, but how far can you go in the right position. Okay. Because you could turn that hip out and go a lot further. Now when you come up to the top, we're going to turn the hip out, change hands, hand across the crease of the leg and the hip, and draw the leg across without letting the right hip lift off the floor. Okay. Now try and get a straight leg there. Don't let an almost straight leg win. Okay, so you need to go down a bit if it's not straight. Come back to the ceiling. Turn it in. So be aware of where you're turning in from. It's the thigh. Okay, it's the hip bone. The foot's just a end. You know, it's not the foot that's turning in. It's the hip. Then you take the leg out as far as you can. Yeah, and then you bring the leg back up. Now, we're doing a stretch workshop on Tuesday. These type of stretches are kind of anatomically based. So the reason we turn in to stretch the hip out is because the adductor muscles attach at the back of the thigh bone. Yeah? If you turn the thigh bone out when you stretch the inner thigh, it's not really stretching. Yeah? So when you come back up, turn in. That means that the adductor is on its furthest point away from the centre of your body, because you've turned it away. And then as you take the leg out, keep the turn in so that you keep the stretch in the right place. Okay? And then draw it back up. When you come to the other side, so when you come across, you're turning out, because we're stretching the muscle on the outside, and they want to be pulled around the other way. Okay? And draw across. Yeah. And then back up. And then we're going to let the circle go for a second. We're going to do our single leg circles. Now, what I would say is, if that leg isn't straight there, you're going to do it like that. Okay? Much better to do it like that. The other point of the exercise is to keep the pelvis stable. Okay? At this level, it's a stability exercise. So we're going to bring that leg up across, down, out, and back to the start position. Be aware of how much range you had going out and coming across. That's the range you're going to keep with, otherwise you're going to be twisting your pelvis. Okay? Up across, down, circle out, pause. Up across, down, circle out, pause. One more. Up across, down, circle out, and back. Reverse the direction. So up, out, down, across, up, out, down and across, up, out, down and across, up, out, down and across. One more. Up, out, down and across, and back up. Good. Okay. We're going to stretch that leg away. Bring the left knee in. Before you use the circle, I just want you to stretch the front of this right hip. So if you reach the right heel away and pull the left knee in, you should feel a stretch go down the front of that hip. Yeah? And then just release, and then pull, and then release. So bend the knee, straighten the leg. Good. Okay. Good. Okay, now reach that right leg away and then reach for your band or your strap. We're going to put that onto the foot. Okay? Now, bring the knee in towards the chest and then just straighten the leg up towards the ceiling. Find that stretch. If the back of that knee isn't completely straight, take it down till you find it, okay? So the purpose of this stretch is the distal end of the hamstrings, okay? So the knee needs to be straight. Otherwise, we're just continuing a short muscle and never getting to the length of the muscle. So this stretch just becomes a reinforcement of a shortened pattern you've already created. It doesn't actually change anything. Good. Now, straighten the leg up. Take it to 90 degrees and take it to or lower if that's where your leg is straight. Okay. Then turn the hip in at the top and draw the leg out, keeping this side of the pelvis controlled. Okay. Don't let it come with you, basically. Then bring the leg back up towards the ceiling. Turn the hip out, change the hand, and then draw the leg across without letting the pelvis come with you. Keep pressing the right leg down and in, back up. Turn the hip in, take the leg out. Keep that internal rotation all the way out. Bring the leg back up, turn it out, and switch. Okay. Good, back up to the ceiling. Turn in from the hip. And then take the leg out. As you're going out, focus on internally rotating that hip. Okay? And then bring it back up. Turn the hip outwards, and then draw the leg across the midline. So the stretch comes to the outside of your hip and maybe your TFL-IT band. Good, then all the way up, take the circle away. Now, you're grounding your right leg, and this left leg is going to be, if you can't get it straight at 90 or above 90, bend the knee. Okay, so because the leg comes up beyond 90, you need to be able to go beyond 90 with a straight leg, and if not, bend it. Okay? So up across. Down, out, pause at the top. Up across, down, out, pause at the top. Keep the pelvis level. Up across, down, out, pause. Good. Up across, down, out, pause. Don't forget this right leg. It's still active. It's pressing down and in, out and up. One more. Up across, down, out. And of course the abdominals are working hard to hold the pelvis still. Now we're going to reverse. So up, out, down, across, to 90. Up, out, down and across, and back to 90. Up, out, down and across, to 90. Up, out, down and across, to 90. One more. Up, out, down, across, up to 90, and then just straighten that leg away and bring the right knee in towards your chest. Okay. So the leg we've just lifted is going to be stretched on the floor, and the leg that was on the floor is now in towards your chest. And just do that. Bring the knee in, and then straighten the leg out. Rock the knee in, and then straighten the other leg out. So when you rock the knee in, you're going to bend the other leg a little. Keep the knee in and stretch the leg away. Good. So bring the knee in, lift the other knee up, press the leg away, and relax. Good. Pull it in, stretch it out. Good. Pull it in, and stretch it out. Now, keep the left leg straight. Take your hands behind the back of the right leg. Elbows out wide, so shoulders are in the right position. They're not here. They're here. Press the elbows wide, draw the shoulder blades out. Bring your head away from the mat. Bring your chin over your chest. Press your leg away. Keep the other leg pressed down there. Learn to press that leg down. Good. And then come all the way up into your sitting position. We're going to take it into your rolling like a ball. And we're going to find rolling like a ball in a position where the heels are away from the bottom,
Okay, so in a harder version, the heels come right up, but I just want us to get the shape. Okay, we already found the shape first thing. So find your seat, pull your stomach in and up, and bring your head forward. Yeah, find that connection into your neck as if you had the circle again, but pull it in. Squeeze your heels together, pull your stomach in, and then just lift your feet, which may encourage you to roll back a little, and that's okay. You're on your sit bones, your shoulders are a little bit back of your hips, but try and get them as close to being over your hips as possible. Now keep the shape as you inhale, roll back. Keep the shape as you exhale, roll up. So what I want is you to stay the same distance from chest to knee. Okay? So that your focus is, when you go back, can you keep the shape coming up? Do you open the space bigger like this? Okay. Does your head stay eyes looking at your pelvis, or do you throw your head back to come up? Yeah. So inhale back, exhale up. Focus on the shoulders, elbows out wide. Breathing in to go back, breathing out to come up. Yeah. So you're taking that C curve that we learned at the beginning and changing its position. It's going back, it's coming forwards. And you've got the strength in here and in here to hold. Now, if this isn't possible here, open leg rocker and isn't going to be possible. Yeah, because you've got to be able to hold the distance between knees and chest. Okay, that kind of makes sense. So from that position, we're going to take it into single leg stretch. So I would bring one knee in. So maybe keep your left leg on the floor, okay, as a grounder. Bring your right knee in towards your chest a little bit. Outside hand always goes low, inside hand always goes up. And you're going to just roll back. Keep your leg down, roll back with control into your position that you'd be in the 100, yeah? So chin over chest, pull the stomach in. Now, keep the stomach tight as you lift the leg up. Now you can lift the leg higher if you want to, or stay lower. Now pull on that right leg, switch, and pull on the left leg. Switch. Good. And keep the head position the same. Don't rock back and forwards. Be aware of your shoulders again. So, have you started to lift these up? Keep the shoulder blades wide, keep the collarbones wide, okay? Draw the stomach in. Each time you pull in, find more stretch in the other leg. Find more connection into your abdominals. Pull. And pull. Good, and pull. So still try and keep the shin parallel to the ceiling, okay? So you're not here so much, but here. Yeah? Good. Good. Now, bring both knees in. Now you can hold your head and shoulders up, or you can lower your head and shoulders down. Have a little breather in that position. Okay? If you can keep your head and shoulders up, it will prepare you for the full ab series where you keep this position for 5 exercises, but it's good to have a breather if you need to there. So we're going into double leg stretch. And we're going to do it as per Return to Life, Joseph Ply's book. So we're not going to throw the arms back, we're going to stretch the arms into your thighs. So connect the shoulders. So head and shoulders are up. We're going to stretch your legs out and squeeze your hands into your thighs. Now your legs can go higher, you don't have to go low, but your hands have to come wherever it is. So if they're there, it's here. And then pull back in. Inhale to go out. Squeeze it. Exhale to pull back. Inhale to press out. Squeeze the hands into your thighs. Exhale, pull it in. Hold the head and shoulders steady. Okay, so make it jerky, make it smooth. Draw the stomach in, squeeze the thighs together. So if you don't engage your thighs and your shoulder girdle, it's just a hard stomach exercise, isn't it? Okay. Good. Press it out, pull it in, and then lower your head and shoulders down. Good. Place your feet down, and then maybe stretch your legs out and bring your arms over your head. Reach your arms back, ribs down, stomach in, thighs together. Good. Now, some of you feel confident rolling up, you're going to roll up. Others are just going to bring yourself up. So if you can roll up, hands up, chin up, chest over, rolling over the top. Good, scoop and stretch. And then coming up. Now, we're going to take it into a spine stretch forward. So to find that shape, we've been doing it particularly since we've been on the online classes by having your knees bent to start. Now I naturally just want to be here, so I have to push my crest of my pelvis forward and straighten my back. Okay. Keep that back straight, pull the stomach in, stretch your legs out. If you can't hold that shape, a block under your bottom. Okay. And the reason why I would say if you struggle to straighten your leg and the hamstring stretches, you're not going to be able to sit like this. Your hamstring's going to be pulling your bottom underneath. So you've got to put a block under there to stop that happening. And your legs are just the width of the mat, so not too wide. You know, it's not sore. It's just spine stretch forward. So press your legs down, backs of your calves. Find your seat. So if you turn your thighs out ever so slightly, you're going to rotate and find the rotators, which will pop you up on your seat. Yeah? We're avoiding squeezing your butt cheeks. Hey, it's Pilates, not tone class. So rotate the thigh bones and lift up. Pull your stomach in and up. And then bring your fingers down. Okay. Crown of your head reaches tall. Now as you exhale, bring your chin forward, as we did with the circle. Chest forward, ribs move forward, stomach pulls back. Okay. You roll as far forward as you feel you can hold. Take a breath into the back of the ribs without lifting your shoulders up to your ears. And keep that inhale going as you stack back up, pressing your legs down into the mat so don't lose the connection. All the way up into sitting. Exhale, round it forward, chin over chest, chest over ribs. Pull your stomach in and back as you stretch your hands forward and away. Take a breath in and keep that inhale going as you stack your spine back up. Okay. Find your seat, press down your legs. And again, exhale forward, chin over chest, chest over ribs. Reach with those hands and pull back with the stomach. Take a breath in and stack back up. All the way up into your sitting position. Okay. Now, from there we'll come to your seal. So seal is the 8th exercise of your foundational movements. Okay, so most of them have been done in this curve, yeah, to build up that strength. So let's bring it into position. Feet are together. And we're going to let your knees drift out to the side, okay? So that's a stretch for your inner thigh, but not a very active one when we just let the knees drop out. So now draw your legs back up towards your arms. So you actually feel the muscles of your inner thigh contract a little bit, yeah? Now you take your hands inside your thighs and bring them around the outside of your ankles and see if we can lift the feet up. Now that might make you rock back a little bit, that's okay. And then you're going to adjust yourself to try and create a long C curve. Yeah? Pull your knees in, push your elbows out. Try and keep the knees quite close to the body. So you can just clap your feet, yeah? Pull your stomach in, just holding that position really. Chin is slightly forward over your chest. You've got that strong front to the neck. If you have the movement, just roll back onto your shoulders and then roll back up and then clap 1, 2, 3, deep stomach pull back
roll back, roll up. So we don't have to hold it at the end there, we're just rolling to come back up. 1, 2, 3, roll back, roll up. 1, 2, 3, last one. Roll back, roll up. Clap, 1, 2, 3. Good, okay. So they would be the 8 foundational movements that you would do, and I would say that you would do every day. Okay, if you want to get good at Pilates, do those 8 movements every day. Not as long as we've taken, you can do them in 10 minutes. Okay, you can do bits of them. Okay, so I would say every day. If you can do them every other day, brilliant. But it's 10 minutes, isn't it? It's not a lot. Okay, now we'll go on to the front of your body. So when you progress onto the front of the body, there's more challenges. So there's more strength required from the back of the body. Okay, so glutes and thighs need to work very hard. So we'll take it into your prep for single leg kick. Okay, so what you need to be able to do when you do single leg kick is to really hold your pelvis steady, and how we're going to do that is by putting your hands under the crest of your pelvis. There'll be a gap of a certain few centimeters. So for me, 2 fingers is the gap. It might be different for you. Okay? Now send your tailbone down towards your heels and draw your thighs together. Okay? So that's a strong connection into your lower body. Okay? When you send your tailbone down, it should instinctively pull your stomach in and up. Yeah? So that's going to be held in and up. Now all I want you to do is lift your, or bend your right knee, flex your foot. Okay? Now I want you to keep the knees squeezed together and roll the hip out, which will bring the leg across the other leg. Yeah? Take it back to the center, roll it in, which will take the leg or the foot out. Yeah? Keep squeezing that thigh into the other one. Yeah? We're not lifting the hip, so all we're doing is just rotating the hip. The hip is extended because you're lying on your front. So there's some activation in your glute, but probably more in your hamstring. Rotate, center, rotate, center. Now, when you get back to the center, keep the foot flexed, and now just lift the knee, keeping the knee close to the other leg. See if you can lift without any compensatory movement at the crest of the pelvis. And down. Lift. And down. Lift. And down. Good. It's not huge. I want you to get into your glute. Yeah. Try not to twist your pelvis. Don't let one side lift or lower. Keep them even. Hard to do. Good. And then lengthen that leg out. Switch to the other side. Okay. Squeeze the legs together. Now lift. Let's roll. So bring the leg across. That takes the hip out. Bring the leg to center, and then let the foot roll out, which lets the the hip roll in. Okay. To center, across, center, out. Good. As you let the leg roll, the hip roll, don't let the thigh move away from the other one. Okay. So you stay at a right angle at the knee and you just roll in and out. Then when you come back to the center, just lift the knee away from the mat. Don't change the pelvis. Try and engage more glute. It might feel minimal lift, to be honest. Pull the stomach in and up. Send the tailbone down and long. Lift. And one more. Okay, lower the leg down. Now let's take the hands above the head, okay? And we're going to, you can have your fingers first fingers and thumbs together and forming a diamond with the hand. Have your elbows out wide and form a diamond between your hands, your elbows and the bottom of your ribs, okay, bottom of your sternum. Make the back of your neck long, press your elbows as wide as you can and squeeze your legs as close together as you can. Tailbone down, stomach in. Now press into the diamond, so hands, elbows and bottom of your ribs, and just lift your head, your collarbone and your breastbone. Good. Get that connection and lower back down again. Squeeze the legs tight. Press down into those 4 points of your diamond and lift your head, your collarbone and your breastbone. And press back down again. Or roll back down. Press and lift. Okay. Keep the shoulder blades wide and down. Keep the elbows wide. Pull the stomach in. It's quite small. Okay. And down again. Keep the back of the shoulder blades wide, pull the stomach in, start to work into that upper back as much as you can. Okay, one more. Now squeeze those legs together, lengthen the tailbone, and then just push up so that your elbows are a bit narrower and their knuckles are together. The upper body is lifted clear, so your ribs have lifted, your stomach is lifted, the crest of your pelvis is lifted, but your pubic bone is down. Your tailbone is long, you're getting that wide position at the back again of your shoulder blades, back of the neck is long. Good, and just hold that position, squeeze your legs together. Engage your glutes. Now can you lengthen and lift one leg off the floor? Maybe an inch, it's not huge. Keep your legs squeezed together though. So thighs are together and then lower. And then do the other leg. Now it might be half an inch, it's not huge. And down. Reach away. Pull the stomach in. And down. Tailbone down. So don't let your legs come apart. Keep pushing your chest away from the floor, squeezing your knuckles together. Make sure your abdomen is not touching the mat. Well, with the exception of the bottom of the pubic bone, maybe. No movement into your back, tailbone long. Good, and then relax. Come back onto your heels and round your back. But still keep the stretch, so it's not a child's pose, it's a counter stretch. Your stomach pulls in, your arms push forward, you round your back and you bring your chin down. Okay, swing around into a side leg kick position. Okay? So, align yourself to the back of your mat. Elbow or long arm, shoulder and hip. You can have your arm bent, okay, if you can hold the position with your neck. And then your legs are forward towards the bottom corner. Now, your throat is pulled back, so your neck is long at the back. Your chin slightly forward, slightly down. And you're going to keep the top side of your waist long. You're going to lift the top leg up. You're going to hold your upper body perfectly still, no movement at all. You're just going to kick your leg forwards. And then draw your leg back, only as far as you can engage the glutes and not rock the pelvis. Forwards and back. Okay. Now, the bottom leg is working quite hard, it's pressing down into the mat. Now if you can't press the leg down, it'll be when you take the top leg back, so don't take the leg back too much. Remember, the range of movement going back or extension is really small compared to the amount going forwards. So you're never going to be swinging the leg back as far as you can swing it forward. But if you can engage your glute muscle on that extension, then you're doing all you need. So a small kick back, much better than an uncontrolled big kick back. Because that will only be going into your back. So if your upper body is rocking back and forwards,
you're going too big. Yeah. You've got to control this area in order to give this more range. Okay. Good. Forwards and back. We can take it to a leg lift, so turn the hips out, and as you turn the hips out, squeeze your thighs together and push from behind, so find your bottom. So I want you to find the position before we do any kicking. So find the tailbone, pull the leg in. So we're not kicking at all yet, we're just finding the position. Okay. Now, we're going to lift the leg and rotate it out. Keep rotating it out and lifting as high as you can, but with rotation. Flex the foot and pull the leg down so the thighs come together. Point and rotate. Lift that leg. Don't let the pelvis roll back or the side of your waist short. Squeeze the leg away. Now that leg of course is straight, so no bent knees. So that might limit how high your leg goes. Doesn't matter. It's correct movement, not how big it is, yeah? Never think of Pilates as how big you can go, but just how much control you can take. Good, lift. Nice and controlled. And you can see your image on that camera. So this is the benefit. Make sure nothing is rocking and rolling as you lift that leg up. Make sure the knee isn't bending. Yeah. Now the knee could be bending because of tight hamstrings or tight adductors. Down. Now, let's take it into small circles. Just going to do 3. So forwards and up, back and down. Press down that bottom leg. Lift that top leg. Forwards and up. Reach back and down. Reverse. Go back and up. Over and forwards. Back and up. Over and forwards. One more. Back and up. Over and forwards. Good. Okay. Bring yourself to the middle of your mat. Okay. Just a little side lift. So bottom leg goes forward, top leg goes back. Arm can come up towards the ceiling. We're going to use the top side of your waist. Just draw yourself up. Bend your knees in. This hand can be helpful if you need to press with it. That's okay. Swing your legs around. Let's do the other side. So line yourself up with the back of your mat. Elbow or straight arm. Shoulder and hip. Legs to the bottom corner. So neck is not like this, okay, not watching a film on the floor. It's a long side of the neck. The waist is long. Press down the bottom leg, lift up the top leg. Everything's going to stay still except the hip, okay? See how much range you have going back. Make sure that when you take your leg back, you're not feeling it in your lower back, that you're using the muscles of your lower back to get you more range, so you're really extending your lower back. Okay? Kick forwards, draw back, so quite controlled. I want you to really find the level of extension in your hip so that your glute is engaging when you go back. Okay? If you're just kicking willy-nilly, it's not really engaging much. Good. Pull and forwards. Good. And again, draw it back. Now, bring your legs together, and I would turn them out now. So you're kind of on the side of your little toe, fourth toe maybe. Send your tailbone down and really push forward from your bottom. Okay, so that's going to open up the front of your hips. Now lift the top leg, turning it out in the socket as much as you can. Keeping the leg straight. Flex the foot and pull the thighs back together. So when you rotate that thigh, try and get more into your bum and less into your quad. Okay, so usually the quads want to do everything. And it's okay, so if you come up too high and you find your quads are working and not your inner thighs or your bottom, come up lower. Okay, so it's not how high can I kick my leg up, but how much can I use the right muscles to do it with. And down. Good. One more. Rotate. And keep rotating as you lift. That will make you use the back of your leg, not the front. Press down. Now, take it into small circle. Let's say small, then more medium really. But back, down and forwards. Press that leg down to take the other leg forward and up. Yeah. So the bottom leg is really active. It's not just there, having a breather. Okay, and reverse. Go back, lift, up, forwards. Back, up, forwards. One more. Back, up, and circle forwards. Good. Just draw yourself to the middle of your mat a little bit. Lengthen your arm. Bottom leg forward, top leg back. Top arm up maybe. Okay. As you roll, so side lift. So bring the arm down. Bring yourself up into side sitting. Good. Maybe just onto your knees. We can sit back in a child's pose, so we're at the end. So just let your arms stretch back down by your sides. Bring your head forward. Take a breath into the back of your rib cage. Pull the stomach in and up. Feel the ribs open. Exhale, breathing out. Good. Inhale, open the ribs. Stretch the upper back. Exhale. Let's do one more. Take a breath in. Exhale. And then on your next in-breath, just stack your spine back up. Come up into a straight position. Good. Well done. I think he's unmuting you.